Trick or treat!
The children chanted at the doorstep. It was Halloween night, and 10-year-old Billy Gerwick was playing the role of Skeleton Prince. A crown was placed squarely on his head, and the white paint that made up his skeletal appearance was finally dried. It was time for candy. 5 children are seen approaching the Johnson residence. The following transcript is the retelling of events having occurred on October 31st, Halloween night, having been recorded by the Hill Creek Sheriff's Department.
Oh my, wow, who do we have here tonight? A ghost? A witch? Oh, Mr. Dracula, I thought that was you. Little Frankenboy, and oh, who's that? I'm the Skeleton Prince. You must give me your sweetest treat. So sweet, and how fantastically frightening of you. Here is your wish, my prince.
Candy rained down from above the children as Mrs. Johnson released the treats with a wave of her hand.
Warning. The following statements made by Hill Creek resident Dr. Thaddeus Slaughter, M.D., are confidential and not confirmed. These events tie into an ongoing investigation made by Hill Creek Sheriff's Department.
I don't know the Gerwicks, but their son is up to something. Every time he passed my house, that crazy weird pumpkin was following right behind him. I'd never seen nothing like it. He must have been pulling it somehow. You know, maybe he's just pranking everybody. But come on, have you ever heard of a 10-year-old doing something like this? I've never seen a 10-year-old orchestrate his own disappearance.
I'm Buck Hellman for Hill Creek's own WXRZ Channel 15 News. This just in, Hill Creek Hell. Trick-or-treaters were treated to more than tricks this Halloween night as a local boy, Billy Gerwick, a 4th grade student who attends Hill Creek Intermediary, has gone missing this evening. Reports suggest foul play as the boy's candy bag and flashlight were found hanging from a tree outside the Gerwick home. All we can say here at WXRZ is make sure you and your children are safe and remain together. We've just received word that Hill Creek Sheriff John Townsend is on the scene with WXRZ's field reporter Jill Johnson. Jill, what are they seeing out here tonight? Ghouls and goblins, I'm guessing?
Unfortunately, Buck, many eyewitnesses have refused to comment, some stating it's a gruesome sight. I'm not sure exactly what these people saw, Buck, but we are now going to be receiving a statement from Sheriff Townsend on the situation. What can you tell us, Sheriff?
Look, I've got 6 or 7 officers sweeping the neighborhood. We got men forming a police line in Hill Creek Cemetery. We're doing the best we can. Listen, folks at home, if you have loved ones trick-or-treating tonight, it may be best to keep them inside for an hour or so while we straighten all this out.
Sheriff, is it possible that there is a killer on the loose?
No further questions. Get that microphone out of my face. Hey, get these people off the roads.
There you have it, Buck. No word yet on if there is a Halloween hunter, whoever they are, have Hill Creek's best in blue on the case. Let's hope we can find little Billy soon. I'm Jill Johnson, reporting live on the scene.
The disappearance of Billy Gerwick was one of the top stories of the late 1980s. 34 years later, it is still unknown what happened to the little boy on that fateful Halloween night.
Hear me now, young trick-or-treaters. What do you have in your bag this year? Is it candy, a sweet, or a bit of your friend's ear? Oh, but how did it get there? I watch you trounce through picket and porch, kick leaves, spit sugar, stomp upon my corpse. Fall air will swell, may your costumes keep warm. Hidden are the bodies amongst ears of corn. I will be close behind, silent and still. The Ghoulish Gourd awaits for Halloween to kill.
Billy knew he wanted to dress as a skeleton for Halloween, but he didn't want to be just a skeleton. After a quick and anxious rummaging through his parents' garage, he found it. The crown of King Gerwick is what his dad called it. Billy always wanted to wear it, but his dad said it was too valuable. It had too much history, or too much darkness. Billy could never remember which it was, but he took it all the same. The crown fit his head snugly, perfectly gripping each corner of his skull. His makeup was done, his costume prepared, and he was ready to stalk the streets as the Skeleton Prince.
I can't seem to wrap my mind around it. I'm so sure I saw Billy. But if I'm being honest, I know I saw something else as well. Like Billy wasn't himself anymore. He became something else. He wasn't just wearing a costume. No. He was the Skeleton Prince.
Halloween. A night I am damned to live. For what purpose I serve, other than to do what I must. Carve my face with knife and saw, and I will grow, I will gnaw, and I will eat the monsters that march the streets of Hill Creek Hollow.
Trick-or-treating had always been a happy event to participate in for the Gerwicks and surrounding families. Hundreds, if not thousands of people filled the roads and sidewalks. A sugary scent filled the air, and all would be happy. This happened each and every year without fail. The anticipation of readying a costume, decorating one's yard, and illuminating the night with flashlights from all hands. An unaccompanied child could easily be lost in the pandemonium. During the late hours of the evening, Billy Gerwick was spotted running into the woods.
Go away! Leave me alone!
Get back here!
Stay away from me!
That's not yours!
Whoa!
Standing at the edge of Hill Creek's Lover's Leap, Billy Gerwick was between a drop to certain death and a miserable end by whoever was chasing him.
Kid, step away from the edge. Nobody needs to get hurt. Just come here and give it back, all right?
It's not yours! It's my dad's! He doesn't know I have it, but it's his!
Listen, I don't know what you think you're wearing right now, but that is not the costume joint's plastic crown. Now please, give it back to me.
This is the crown of King Gerwick. It belongs to me.
I know. But kid, you've been dead for years. You shouldn't even be here. You shouldn't be alive.
What? I'm not dead. That's crazy.
My name is George. Do you recognize me at all?
No. What's happening?
Billy, you were my neighbor 34 years ago. I grew up. You didn't. I think that crown you're wearing, it's some kind of...
Fool! That is my crown. The crown of the Ghoulish Gourd returns to its master.
You're that pumpkin that's been following me. This is my crown.
Oh my God. Billy, run!
You cannot run anywhere I won't find you, boy. Give it here.
WXRZ Channel 15 News on the scene.
Residents of Hill Creek are astonished tonight as reports of an evil pumpkin chasing a skeleton boy have surfaced. The skeleton boy, who was spotted and speculated to be the infamous Skeleton Prince, a boy by the name of Billy Gerwick who disappeared 34 years ago to the day. His disappearance at the time was stated to be one of the most puzzling cases Hill Creek Sheriff's Department had ever witnessed. To this day, it is speculated that the little Billy Gerwick boy fell from Lover's Leap into Lake Gerwick, famously named after Billy's own great-great-grandfather, Theodore Gerwick, founder of Hill Creek. Reports have even come in that... Wait. Oh my God. That's Billy Gerwick being chased by a pumpkin. Josh, are you getting this? Point the camera over there.
Ah, give me my crown.
No! Never! It's mine! It's mine! As the pumpkin and Billy ran through the streets of Hill Creek, a strange light began to glow, originating from the jewels of the crown.
Billy, you can still cross over. It's almost midnight.
WXRZ, breaking news. We are currently on North Helm in Royal Court, where a possessed pumpkin is chasing a skeleton boy. Onlookers are shocked to see such a strange display on Halloween night.
Billy!
You've lost. I am the king of Hill Creek Hollow. Give me my crown.
There's only one king in Hill Creek, and his name was Theodore Gerwick. Billy lifted the crown from his head, completely submerged in the light. Bystanders could see the light travel through him, as though he wasn't there at all. Midnight was close. The watch on George's wrist read 11:59. As Billy had the crown in both hands, bathing in the glow of the jewels, the pumpkin lunged forward, reaching out a vined tendril. Wrapping the crown on all sides, pulling Billy with him, the pumpkin's final fight would appear victorious. The glow became a light so bright that every person in the area could only shield their eyes as it emitted waves of bright white and yellow. Tremors were felt under the feet of George, Billy's former neighbor. And like a gun being shot at the start of a race, George ran at the ball of light with no idea of what would come of his actions.
Let him go!
George! It's okay, I've got it!
No way, Billy. I'm not letting you go again. I'm sorry we lost you that night. I should have kept right beside you. I'm sorry.
My crown! My beautiful crown! Finally, you'll see the power of the Pumpkin King.
11:59 in 59 seconds. The last second of Halloween. 12 o'clock midnight, November 1st. As the light broke, George fell to the ground with the crown in his hands. No light, no jewels, and no Billy. The pumpkin that had just been gripping the crown in its vines had splattered to the ground. Where Billy had been standing, a piece of paper sat. In it was a note to his old friend George from 34 years before. George, I can't believe Halloween is already here. Maybe our folks will ante up on those promises of taking us skiing this winter. Of course, I have to see my grandparents this Thanksgiving. My grandpa isn't doing so well. He keeps saying things that don't make sense, and it's spooking my folks out. But I don't know. They feel like stories to me. Just from a different point of view, you know? He said the prince would be crowned, but not before the king was vanquished. I'm not sure what he meant, but I think it has to do with his dad, Theodore. My folks told me he was a really evil guy, that Hill Creek was built on a foundation of his hate, but that today we benefit from the good that everyone works for. Sometimes me and my old man get into it, but I still love him. Mom, too. Anyway, I wanted to write you because I know you're still sick and may not make it tonight. No big deal, though. I'll send you some candy. Hope you feel better. Billy. George read the note over and over, knowing that life would have been different had Billy still been around. As he finished, he folded the note and placed it in his pocket where he felt a piece of candy that he knew was not there before. The end.